Yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Welcome in. It's Balloon Party. It's 101 ESPN. My name's Tim McKernan. That's Jackson Burkett. For those of you watching on YouTube, Jackson is wearing a $2.50 hoodie. It says Spot across it that he got yesterday at a thrift shop.
That's right.
Macklemore.
Yeah, popping some tags.
Nice.
Yeah, no, I got these shorts. I guess I can back it up a little bit. They're kind of like these pinstriped NBA
They look
shorts.
like the Orlando Magic's
Very
get up
similar.
with the Shaquille O'Neal, Penny Hardaway team that lost to the Rockets in '95. Am I right on that, Russ? Audrey?
Yeah, that was midst of MJ's baseball deal. But I got these shorts for $2.
But MJ did come back for that series.
Right, but he was certainly a little out of shape given he wasn't playing all year.
Okay. Do you think Michael Jordan was out of shape in the 1995 Eastern Conference playoffs? 314-399-9646. Jackson's wearing shorts today paying tribute to the Orlando Magic. Dennis Scott?
Yeah, these were also $2.50.
Nick Anderson? ILL?
Yeah, that would have been Penny, Shaq. Boy, what Penny could have been if he didn't get
Scott
injured.
Skiles?
Yeah, pre-Tracy
Brian
McGrady.
Hill was the coach?
Yeah, former Laker.
Okay. Well, we've covered it now. All right, so you want to show your pants off on this YouTube channel? Is that what
Yeah,
you're
well,
gonna
I also got these shorts at the thrift shop and $2.50 as well. So it was a $5 outfit.
Look at you.
Yeah.
You're trying to be relatable. It's like, hey, I went to Ladue. I have money, but I can dress how I want to dress.
I like a thrift shop. So
Where was this thrift shop?
right down the road here on Olive. And I went there originally to look at some furniture. I'm moving next week. And
So you got the place in Huntley.
yeah, closed on it the other day, 10-day escrow.
Congratulations.
Yeah, shortest amount they can offer. Paying cash, of course, much like Tony Soprano. And I'm looking for some things to fill the home with. And I was looking, they can sometimes have some decent furniture, art. And I've just perused through the clothes and found some really good stuff. The problem I guess I have with thrift stores is similar to my problem I have with other people's fridges, that I think they all smell a little bit. Like
Interesting.
thrift stores smell like,
So when you're with the common folk,
I know it
you
sounds
feel
bad.
like the proletariat, the working man, smells.
It sounds bad. It doesn't smell bad. It just has like an odor, like it kind of just has an odor.
Does
It smells like,
MICDS or Burroughs or Ladue or Clayton, do they have a smell?
I think they're capable of having smells, but like
They don't.
generally probably not. But I don't think most area high schools
So
have a
they're
smell.
capable of having smells if they were to like get a blue collar job. But as things stand, they are fragrance less.
I haven't been in several of those institutions in many years, so I can't say for certain. I have been to this thrift shop recently, and it's not that it smelled bad. It just smells like other people's stuff, and that kind of has. And I think everyone's fridge stinks. All your fridges out there smell bad to me. Like cold food smells bad to me.
Does your refrigerator smell?
Yeah, probably,
It does.
but I'm used to it. It's like the smell of your own foul. Like it doesn't like make you want to vomit because you're used to it.
Your thoughts on the smell of your own foul, 314-399-9646. And then there's the YouTube chat. It says, neighbor kid's in there, and he says, Jackson is dressed like a badass 8th grader.
Yeah, it's kind of my whole get up. I'm always kind of dressed like an 8th grader. I really haven't changed my wardrobe since the 8th grade.
The thrift shop in Ladue is called Trader Joe's. That's from the Wentzville Walking Stick. Is that actually where you were? You were at Trader Joe's?
First of all, there's no Trader Joe's in Ladue. Love Trader Joe's, by the way, but they don't sell clothes
I
as
think
far.
that was understood.
They don't sell. Trader Joe's is cheap. That's budget shopping. That's not like Whole Foods. It's not Whole Foods. If I was shopping at Whole Foods, I would understand the criticism. But Trader Joe's, if you're a guy living on your own, that's like your place. They sell a lot of easy to make meals. No free endorsement, but
Yeah, it does. I wonder if this is going to be considered payola when HR meets
well, if
with
they
you.
want me to finish it, they have to pay me.
There it is. Jackson is officially asking for payola. Ladue kid hates leftovers. That's from Bishop About Sports.
I don't hate leftovers, but if I'm wearing a hoodie, like I'll put my hoodie over my face while I heat it up. I can't, because if I smell the cold food, it really makes me nauseous. I'm weird. That's super weird, I know, but it's how I am.
The young men on the Cardinals are smacking some RBIs, and the lead is Jackson's thrift shop haul. It's a Marsha's burner.
No offense, but Cardinal games at this point are like a step above a company softball game. Nothing to play for anymore.
Today's Spirit Day at Ladue is country versus country club, because probably like 80% of the students belong to a country club, while the rest of us have a membership at Tower T. It's from the Waterboy.
Yeah, world's smallest violin. I did not belong to a country club growing up.
How about that?
Yeah.
Look at that. That should be a promo for this show.
Matter of fact, I worked at Forest Park Golf Course so I could play free golf and get better.
Look at you.
Yeah. But I know that goes
And now
against...
you're like striping your 7-iron.
No. I think because they didn't have a range at Forest Park that...
So now you're mad they have a range.
They have one at the Highlands, but not where I worked. So maybe that was the reason but that wouldn't explain my bad short game either.
Jackson, stop taking the fashionable clothes from the thrift stores we normies need to take advantage of and go back to Plaza Frontenac. It's from the 314.
I don't know. You snooze, you lose. I don't know what they say to you. I'm going to have to take this hoodie off. It's hot in here.
I told Rocky when I walked in, I told him two things, as a matter of fact. I said, I enjoy the temperature, but I'm not wearing a $2.50 hoodie.
Right.
I'm wearing a meat and potatoes, 2016 golf shirt.
Right. Probably $150.
$150?
Yeah,
$1.50. Thank you.
Yeah.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
And plus, it's for a 5-year-old size. So
right. Well, you
gotta
get the
think about
discount.
the fabric.
Right.
So you got that. And then I said, you know what? Thank you, Matt Rocchio. Thank you. Thank you for texting Jackson about Eli Drinkwitz being on the opening drive, and I'm getting all worked up about the uniform question. And we got the audio, and I can't wait to hear it and play it here for the balloon party audience. And then also he's telling me about, I don't know if it was Randy, Dan, or Brooke, or Matt who asked about Brady Cook.
Mm-hmm. We have that audio as well.
So I can't wait to hear this.
Thank you to Matt Rocchio for doing that.
So he's a gentleman, even though you two are sideways at times.
No, sometimes I come in here and he's got a little bit of a tood, but he's one of my guys.
Guys, Smell of My Own Foul is my new band name. Thanks. It's from the 618.
Yeah, use it. I hope you put out some great tunes.
YouTube chat. That sun is spotlighting Jackson. Are there shades? That's from
dude,
Gator. He's got the little Florida Gator logo. They got Central Florida this weekend, I think. Nice win in Starkville.
Yep. I have the worst lighting in the whole building right here, right now. It makes me look off. I look like a...
It's shining on your torso as I look at the YouTube chat.
Yeah, well, I'm like top-lit over here. That's not how I want to be. I want to be backlit.
Jackson, how's the clothing selection at Straub's? That seems more your speed. That's from Bazooka Tooth 75.
I don't think they sell it, but boy, they sell a chicken salad for you.
You enjoy the Straub's chicken? Is this another off-the-books endorsement?
Dude, you can't go to Straub's. You go to Straub's and you just get a couple things. They're like $58. I'm like, what the hell did I buy?
And it's chicken salad.
I guess.
All right, Jackson, you have the Wednesday Wide Berth Wednesday.
Yeah.
And we have the Eli Drinkwitz sound.
That's some good stuff.
I was listening to the Cover 3 podcast. They're expecting a shootout between ILL and Penn State. We got Alabama and Georgia on Saturday night. We got ILL and Penn State on Saturday night. What a weekend of college football.
Would you prefer if the ILL game was like last week and on a Friday night as opposed to a Saturday night?
Well, as everybody knows, it's my birthday in 2 days. Right. So for me, individually, I probably will be out.
Right.
And probably I'll have a libation or two.
Sure, a little taste.
A little taste.
Yes, single malt.
Yeah, not because it's trendy, but just because it works. Right. But if I were to think of the greater good, as I am programmed to do as a proletariat, yeah, I think that'd be better because then you could enjoy both Illinois and Penn State and appreciate what I think ILL has going. And then the Georgia-Alabama game, which is the regular season game of the year.
I would like to
date.
Yeah, I would like to see more college football, like premier college football games, placing them on the Friday night.
So you'd like it if Missouri hosted Oklahoma on a Friday night?
Yeah, I think that'd be cool. I'd like that. I think that would be nice, because I think it's better than...
I'd take that over an 11 o'clock kick.
Certainly over an 11, but like a loaded 2:30, 3 o'clock slate where there's a bunch of other games. I think Friday night's open. If you don't take it, the NFL will, I think. So I think it's a great move for college.
Boy, somebody caught the Family Guy reference, Family Man reference.
You made the Family Man reference?
You made the Family Man reference.
I don't know.
You don't even know what you're doing over there.
I don't know what Family Man is.
What are you hopped up on over there? Are they going to do a test on you?
Adderall. Being honest.
Honesty in media.
Yeah.
Nicolas Cage, Taya Leone.
Nope. I
Single
know.
malt, not because it's trendy, but because it works.
Oh, you made the reference.
Yeah, but you were mouthing it in the
because you said it for like 10 years.
What do you say? My material's tired?
No, I was raised.
The film's 25 years old, boy.
I was raised by TMA, so a lot of these things.
I think most St. Louisans have been raised by TMA, assuming they could get low-powered AM radio or HD2.
Yeah, a degenerate father.
No, you just came after my father.
No.
Boy, what is going on, man?
What?
You just called my father a degenerate.
No, I'm saying if your father is a listener, my father is a listener.
That's not what you said. You said a degenerate father. That's why I can have Ryder play the audio.
You know I'm a huge fan of Tim Sr. So inviting, so welcoming.
Pull it together, boy. Pull it together, boy. Pull it together, boy. Pull it together, boy.
Makes you
this
feel
is my drink
special.
with audio is coming up next. Jackson's got a wide berth Wednesday. He's going to apologize via handwritten letter to my father.
I would do that.
That's all coming up here. It's Balloon Party 101 ESPN. Munganess, St. Louis Acura, Munganess, Burkhardt, Alton Toyota online. It's stlouisacura.com and altontoyota.com. Guess what, Jackson? While you're penning that apology to my father, I'm getting new tires, humble brag, on my wife's car today at Munganess, St. Louis Acura. How about that? How about that?
This is great.
And the tires were worn down a little bit. Ryan Seiberg said, hey, I'm not trying to sell you. I'm just letting you know we've had to patch these. And once you kind of do it a couple times, it gets to a point that, hey, it's a little... And I said, I trust you. I trust you, bro.
World class.
And I said, let's just keep the whip out there. And if you guys can, whenever you get a chance to do it,
Right.
we'll get new tires on there. That's what we'll do.
Yeah.
So that's the birthday present I'm getting.
The meat and potatoes mobile.
That meat and potatoes mobile is what it is. That's exactly right. It's a car from the 1990s. And to me, that seems recent. Growing
White
up
walls.
how I grew up with white walls. That's exactly right. stlouisacura.com and altontoyota.com. Munganess, presenting sponsor of Balloon Party. Now, more breaking news, as always on this program. Dan Jansen has announced, old mean men and Jen, we are calling a truce today to allow Jackson Bennett Burkett the time and space to deliver the best wide berth Wednesday in Balloon Party history. Words of encouragement, please. That's from Dan Jansen. How about that?
It's nice.
It's in the YouTube chat.
I appreciate it. I mean, I appreciate it.
Yeah,
That's
so
nice.
Truce today. So you can focus on a great wide berth Wednesday. You can participate in the YouTube chat. Airlines team, sponsor of the studio cameras. That's YouTube, 101 ESPN's channel. And then you can participate in the Air Comfort Service text inbox, 314-399-9646. Text in. And he says, nice show prep for pulling the audio. And I guess he knows that there's going to be some audio played in this segment here on 101 ESPN. It's great.
Rock
Dan
pulled the
Jansen.
audio.
Thank you, Matt Rocchio.
Yeah.
Good, hardworking kid from South St. Louis.
That's right.
Never handed anything.
Not one thing.
Amen. Good for you. What do we have here?
We're going to go question or audio? What do you...
Well, I'd like, my understanding is executive producer Mike Ryder pulled audio from the previous segment, and I've been instructed by counsel to play this.
Okay. Was it front page of my folder, Ryder?
Oh, my gosh.
Well, that's an important distinction.
Talking to the microphone. This is basic stuff. This is basic.
Might take me a moment here.
Guarantee you Grant would do it. Tanner would do it. Rocky would do it. Marsh should do it. Marsh should own the microphone. He'd
Got
be like
it.
Big Daddy Kane at the Apollo. Get low-powered AM radio or HD2.
Or, yeah, a degenerate father.
Now you just came after my father.
No.
Boy, what
I
is
didn't.
going on, man?
No, I'm saying
there
if
it
you were
is.
raised by TMA, you likely had a degenerate father.
That's not the audio, though. I mean, you're explaining it away. You're explaining it away.
I don't want to remind you of where I come from, but you don't want to get in a battle of law with me, baby.
Wow. And right there, I've been threatened. Jackson, what is this Eli Drinkwitz audio we have? Randy Carricker asks him about the uniforms. They were wearing white helmets, yellow jersey, white pants at the game on Saturday against Vanderbilt.
Yes, and here is what Drinkwitz had to say about the uniform situation going on at Missouri.
Yeah, so look, there's a thing called brand recognition, okay? And everybody needs to understand that we're trying to create a brand that lasts. And if every time you put on a helmet, your brand constantly changes, people don't have brand recognition. Fans, the local fans do, but we're trying to create a brand recognition for a national brand. The Block M will definitely come back out on the helmet, and that's something that we like to use. But the university's athletic symbol is the oval tiger, and so we have to be in line and in sync with our administration and our university in what brand we're trying to continuously promote. And you can't have 75 brands running around there, or people don't know which university you're representing. Okay, and so we're trying to do the best we can. I know people didn't like the uniform combinations last week. Well, guess what? We're trying to match. They told us it was a gold out, so we have to wear gold. I don't have gold pants. I got white and black pants. Okay, and I got 3 color jerseys, and I got to have a helmet that's opposite of what their team's using, and I can't wear a white helmet. Or I can't wear a black helmet because it's supposed to be the hottest game of the year. So there's a lot of different things that go into the strategy of a game besides somebody deciding on, it's not like we wanted to make it as cool as possible in a hot game. So you wanted to wear white pants with a white helmet because the white helmet was going to be opposite of the color helmet that the defense is wearing. And we needed to wear a gold jersey because it was a gold out game. So there's a lot of different things there that play into it. And, I appreciate all the criticism and the hats on Twitter, but I got a lot more important things to worry about than whether or not people like oval tiger, block and tiger, or what color jersey.
Wow. Thorough. Yeah. I mean, thorough breakdown of the uniform situation.
I get everything he said. I truly do. Like, no bit. I do get what he's saying.
So for the sake of just having some follow-ups with you.
Yes.
If the goal is to establish a brand, then why wouldn't it benefit them to have consistent uniforms?
I think that there can be consistency in the logo. I think if you're trying to build a brand that way, I think that that's a good way. I also don't think, they're not going off color. Their colors are black, gold / yellow, and white, and they only wear black, gold / yellow, and white. If you look at someone like Oregon, they will go with their, they have gray or dark green, light green, neon. They go all over the place with their colors. Mizzou typically stays within their colors, and I hear where he's coming from on the university is using the oval tiger as the brand. That is the brand. The oval tiger logo is the Mizzou logo. The Block M.
But he said the Block M's coming back this year.
I like the Block M. I'm a big fan.
What game will the Block M come back for?
I think College Station. I think they'll go black helmet, Block M, white jersey, white pants.
Okay.
Maybe black
hot
pants.
Day game in Texas.
Yeah. So they want to wear white. But Texas A&M often
wears
wears
black helmet. And he said you can't wear black helmets when it's going to be hot out.
But Texas A&M often wears white helmets. So maybe a gold helmet. I don't like the gold helmet that much.
What about when Alabama and Oklahoma play? They'll be wearing the same color helmets. And you talked about the issues with having a similar color helmet.
Yeah, I think Oklahoma might sneak in a white helmet every once in a while. But
so you think when Alabama plays Oklahoma, they'll have a white helmet?
Not positive. But when Georgia plays Alabama, they'll both be wearing red helmets.
The same helmet.
A little bit different shade.
That's going to cause Carson Beck to throw interceptions?
Probably not. I think it's like if you can't recognize which player is on your team, that's a problem. I think it's just probably.
So had you been in studio with the fine folks from the opening drive, you would have said, "Hold on, Randy. So you're telling me, Coach, that the similar color helmets to Vanderbilt would have caused interceptions?"
No, I wouldn't have said that. That would be a leading question, or maybe just one That's just a bad question.
Nice.
I think when you can, and it's probably like if I'm a quarterback, I'd probably prefer that my wide receivers are wearing a different color helmet than the DBs.
Do you think Jalen Milroe is going to make a petition?
No.
To Kalen DeBoer in advance of the showdown with Kirby Smart and Carson Beck at 6:30 on Saturday night in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Roll Tide, roll.
No, because they don't have a choice. Like Georgia and Alabama only have red helmets.
But how are they building their brand?
Winning championships.
Interesting. All right, Jackson, you are on board with the yellow jerseys and the white pant and the white helmet.
I like when they wear white pants. I think the white pants always look good. Like black jersey look great. White jersey looks great. Gold
Is there
jersey looks
anything
great.
they could do that would upset you?
Yes.
What?
And it's not going to be popular. Black jersey, gold pants.
Ah!
I don't think it looks good, personally. Also, I don't love the yellow jersey, black pants. I think it looks kind of goofy.
Yeah, they brought that out last year. I think at the Dome, now that I think about it.
At the Dome and against Tennessee.
But with the backdrop of the turf
So gorgeous.
being light green, I think that actually really worked.
Nothing about that. The score was nice. Good throw to Marquise Johnson to start the game off.
Speedy Keys.
Speedy Keys. That was a great play.
Eli Drinkwitz also was asked by the fine folks on the opening drive about Brady Cook and the situation there. Gabe DeArmond has told us there's not going to be a quarterback change. Mm-hmm. Let's hear what Eli Drinkwitz had to say.
The outside noise relating to him right now is ridiculous. People need to have their minds checked, and anybody who is suggesting that there's an issue at the quarterback position is insane, in my opinion. Like, Brady Cook is an unbelievable player. He didn't put us in jeopardy. He didn't throw an interception in the last 2 weeks. And if he had, we wouldn't win those games. Can he play better? Absolutely, just like I can coach better. But to point fingers right now, our fans need to have a reality check on that stuff.
There it is, Eli Drinkwitz. Nothing's going to happen with the quarterback situation as far as a new starter in advance of College Station, unless there's an injury.
Yeah, even like
I could see something happen in the middle of a game, though.
He not often, but sometimes he'll make a scramble and come up a little bit gimpy. He'll come up a little wobbly. And if that is the case, you might get a series with Drew Pine. But, yeah, I would not anticipate, outside of injury, you seeing anybody but Brady Cook under center.
College Station, a week from Saturday, but we got plenty on the menu for this Saturday. Illinois at Happy Valley, 17.5 is the number.
Yep.
And Georgia making Alabama an underdog at home for the first time since Nick Saban's first year. Is his first year in 2007?
That sounds right.
Yeah.
First time I'll be rooting for Bama, and can't remember.
Yeah, if you're a Missouri fan, you want Alabama to win.
100%.
You need Alabama. It'd be great if Alabama somehow were number one when Missouri gets there.
Think about putting a little taste. It might be chalk, but I think it might be right. A little taste on Jalen Milroe for Heisman.
What are his odds?
Plus 600 the last time I checked.
Who's the favorite?
It was Quinn Ewers, but now with that situation, it seems like it's kind of... And Dylan Gabriel, who was a hopeful, hasn't shown that at all. The Boise State running back actually has shown more than like a Dylan Gabriel has. Some people thought Cam Rising could be a dark horse. Don't see that. Cam Ward, I guess Miami still has to like play somebody first for him to really announce himself outside of just playing Florida. But I think he could make a run for it. But if I had to bet right now, I'd put on Milroe.
I saw Luther Burden was plus 10,000.
He's getting 6 catches in a game against Vandy. Like those are the games you're expecting him to go off for like 10 catches and 160 yards.
That was the game where I thought we'd see him stretch the field, whether it be with Burden or with Speedy Keys.
Speedy Keys, Theo Weiss. They have speed. But like Luther last year against Vandy had a great game, 2 touchdowns, bunch of catches, looked awesome. If you're not getting it against him, it's going to be tough to get it at Tuscaloosa, probably tough to get it at College Station against Oklahoma.
Jackson, you made the observation that Brett Bielema was done wrong.
He was.
By
a Nittany nationalist.
See, there's Tiger nationalist Twitter accounts and there's Nittany Lion nationalist Twitter accounts.
I guess. I was unaware of the Penn
So you
State.
are standing up for the 618 and the 217 and all of the Chicago area codes today. We'll have that audio as Brett Bielema was taken out of context, and now he's the bad guy in the state of Pennsylvania in advance of Illinois' big showdown on Saturday night. We'll have that for you. And Jackson's Wide Berth Wednesday questions in the second half of Balloon Party. This is 101 ESPN.
This is Action Jackson with a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. Cardinals win yesterday. Final score of 7-3 over the Colorado Rockies. They'll take on the Rockies again tonight. 7:40 p.m. is the first pitch, and you can catch some Blues preseason action right here on 101 ESPN this evening as they will be taking on the Columbus Blue Jackets. Pre-game starts at 5 p.m. right here on 101 ESPN. That was another Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, an independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Welcome back. My name's Tim McKernan. That's Jackson Burkett. The show's called Balloon Party. We have a presenting sponsor. That's Munganess, St. Louis Acura, Munganess, Burkhardt, Alton Toyota. Jackson, what you want to do? What you want to do?
Talk ball.
Nice. It's Wide Berth Wednesday. And we're 3 days away from ILL going to Happy Valley and trying to go on the road and shock another top 25 opponent. In this case, it's a top 10 opponent.
What?
Penn State had a little bit of a problem with Bowling Green and former Missouri quarterback Connor Bazelak, who gave Texas A&M a little bit of a problem this past Saturday. Nonetheless, the Nittany Lions are favored by 17.5. And you say this is a coach-inspired whiteout on Saturday night?
Coach-led whiteout. I read one of the Nittany Lion fans in the tweet from Brett Bielema, which was precisely edited.
You're calling it a Nittany nationalist?
Some Nittany nationalist did. I'm sure every fan base has nationalists. But they were saying it's a coach-led whiteout. I don't know what that means.
Okay, fair enough. What's going on over there? Can you use the mute button when you're going to belch into the microphone?
You're right. I don't have any switches in front of me. My bad.
Jackson, what do we have? Brett Bielema?
Yeah, we got some Brett Bielema sound talking about the tradition over at Penn State.
Tradition, okay.
Go back to that moment. It was such an incredible crowd. I've been in the Big Ten a long time, but for me as a GA to see that for the first time was really overwhelmingly amazing, right? It's kind of like a spaceship out in the middle of nowhere, and there's dress. I don't know if they're going to be in blue and white or whatever they're going to be in this weekend. They're going to be dressed, right? And it's probably going to be one or the other. I know they're calling for a whiteout energy, whatever the hell that means. But I would just tell you that the part that really I think stands out is their fans are intelligent. They've got tradition, very similar to Nebraska. They've been doing this for a long time, right? And Penn State fans are accustomed to great football. I remember Joe Paterno hearing at a speech, he was talking about uniforms. He said, I don't like our uniforms. He said, but everybody knows it's Penn State, right? And I just have that in my mind of what this program has been built on, the people that have coached there, the success they've had. One of the greatest moments in I said that about jerseys, right? But I was with Nike. We were in Hawaii, and I come around a corner, and Franco Harris is standing there, right? And he came to see Sue Paterno. I was just like, that's the ultimate. I mean, Joe had passed, of a player to come over and see a coach's wife. I was like, whew, that's a sign of a program, So huge respect for that. That's pretty cool.
There it is, Brett Bielema. But they were unhappy with that from Penn State's perspective?
Well, this said Nittany nationalist.
Nittany nationalist.
And maybe it was a joke in what they posted, but they did post that interview, but they clipped it and it ended right here.
And this weekend they're going to be dressed, right? And it's probably going to be one or the other. I know they're calling for a whiteout energy, whatever the hell that means.
That's where they cut it off.
That loses a hell of a lot of the context. If anything, he praised Penn State.
For a long time. So I saw that because I originally pulled it. I was like, man, Brett Bielema, this is a bold strategy. And then I was like, where's the full interview of this and the full clip? And then it's a 90-second clip of him praising Penn State.
Penn State, the tradition, the program, Franco Harris going out of his way to see Joe Paterno's widow.
So sometimes in the internet, people can mislead you. I don't want to.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jackson Burkett.
I know.
Remember where you were on September
25th,
2024 at 10:40. Time check brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers.
No, I think I really like Brett Bielema. And I'm glad that he's in charge. He's the kind of guy who seems like he could build a program in Illinois. Maybe not necessarily someone who's constantly looking for upward momentum. Which, if that's the coach, I get coaches always win the best gig, but he seems like a guy who'd want to build a program there.
Missouri travels to Champaign, Illinois on Saturday, December 20th or something like that, give or take a couple days.
I won't like him then, but that'd be pretty. I mean, that'd be in my top 5 of dream matchups.
Oh, I'd love to hear your other four.
Penn State.
Since you were ranking attractive coaches last week, we can get your attractive dream matchups this week.
Yeah, this would be away matchups.
Okay.
Penn State.
Okay.
LSU.
That'd be delightful.
Yeah.
Saturday night game in the winter.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. Give me USC.
I feel like you're doing this on the fly right now.
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
But I kind of mapped this out in my mind. Ohio State.
Okay.
And let's wrap it up. We were a little off the board one. Virginia Tech. Enter Sandman.
Blacksburg.
Yeah.
So they're still going to get in despite losing to Vanderbilt.
This is a dream.
Which might be the second best team in the country.
Yeah, this is just a dream.
Got it.
But those would be way up there.
So what was the ranking again?
In no particular order, Penn State, Ohio State, LSU, USC, and then just a fun one, Virginia Tech.
But you didn't include Illinois in there. After saying
wouldn't.
that would be one of your
Yeah,
five dream
that's
matchups.
right, that's right, that's
I can have Ryder play the audio.
No, I know.
Like you did when you defamed my father.
I'm not very good at this.
Right.
So I want that to be stated. Like, I'm not talented. Let's throw Illinois on there as well.
Illinois is now in there. It's a list of 6.
Jackson 6.
Jackson 6.
Yeah.
Missouri's road playoff matchup in December.
That'd be awesome.
All right, there you go. Well, if you want it to happen, here's what you want on Saturday night.
Mm-hmm.
If you have no loyalties to any program, you want ILL to win at Penn State.
Yep.
Not just for Illinois purposes. Penn State's kind of in that same category as Missouri. Probably not going to win the conference, but could get in at large.
Right.
Get them out of here,
Yeah.
Brett Bielema.
Yeah, home loss would be
Wonderful.
detrimental for them.
And then also, you want Alabama, a team Missouri plays. You want them to be undefeated, ideally.
Yes.
When the Tigers come to Tuscaloosa.
Absolutely.
That's what you're looking for. So
That would be-
there you got rooting interest. And if you want to make an investment, that's up to you.
A little parlay, maybe a little ILL to cover.
Parlays are always the positive EV play.
That's right. Illinois to cover. Bama to win money line. Bama money line. Pair those up.
I can read the transcript back if we need to. That's from the Wentzville Walking Stick.
Thanks, Walking Stick. Don't need it.
Jackson, you were great at this. Stop beating yourself up. That's from Dan Jansen, too. Your nemesis. What a moment. This is like a face turn for Dan Jansen.
Respectfully, I appreciate it. However, I question its genuine nature.
Sincerity.
So thank you. I'm getting not very good. I question the sincerity based on his truce earlier, and so it kind of feels patronizing, and I don't like to be patronized or manhandled for that matter.
Wow. So vivid. Dan Jansen, Jackson will not accept your compliment.
Or manhandling.
Hey, are we still in the second segment or is this the third segment?
Number 3.
Nice. All right. So I'm like, I looked at 10:43. I'm going, oh boy, I'm way behind.
Oh, I did the Sports Air update.
Yeah.
That's the great. It's the Great Meridian.
It is the Great Meridian. Dan Jansen really committing himself to the truth despite the train wreck this has become. That's from Bazooka Tooth 75.
What more do I have to admit? I just said I stink. What else do you want from me?
Let's see. Jackson, what's your question on Why Birth Wednesday? Now that we're ahead,
Yeah, boy.
I'm like thrilled. I can
Free
actually
rolling.
answer questions. Yeah, I don't know how I did that. How did that happen?
Here's a fun one. Do you think people out there prefer sports talk to be more traditional and rude than non-biased discussion, or do you think people prefer more fan-oriented culture where the discussion most feels like one of them? Do you see a shift happening in that regard? What do you prefer?
Wow. I mean, this is the thing about you and these questions.
Yeah, I keep them in the holster.
They're never a 5. They're either a 1 or a 10.
Yep.
It's really amazing.
Yeah, I'm a boomer bust kind of guy. I'm
You really are.
Rashid Shaheed.
I'm telling you, you really, really are. What a wide delta. I think in 2024, as far as your high ceiling goes, you're not going to be able to do the traditional thing.
Unless you're like on a network panel show, which there's maybe 6 of. Like, get paid a lot.
Okay, so you're talking about like the CBS thing.
ESPN or CBS. Yeah, or NBC.
And what would be an example of like a traditional ESPN show that you're thinking of when you say
like what First Take is or whatever Nick
So you
Wright
consider
shows?
that to be traditional broadcasting? Stephen A. Smith yelling at people?
I think it's more like it's the 2024 version of traditional.
Okay, but your question was presented in this current day. So, I mean, that...
Right.
See, when I think of traditional, I don't think of like the Take Smithy thing.
Well, what else is there?
There's like interviewing beat writers and
Yeah, okay.
taking calls and trade proposals.
Yeah, I like that too.
Do you? Have you heard it?
I prefer fan-oriented. That's how I kind of always have been.
My honest answer, but I feel like it's such a quiche answer, but it's the truth. I want somebody with what I perceive, and I suppose it's subjective, credibility, doing both.
Got it.
So, having a conversation that's rooted in fact and not performative.
Herb Street seems like that.
Yeah, I guess I would consider him actually closer to traditional than.
Yeah, agreed.
But like the performative thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And hey, God bless, it doesn't affect me if it exists. I couldn't care any less. I don't have to watch it or listen to it. But I get caught up when people go, boy, did you hear what like Paul Feinbaum said? I go, well, I mean, what did Seth Rollins say? I mean, it doesn't matter. It's like what Vince McMahon say on right. It's just that it's all
sensationalized a little bit.
Well, it's just performative, and hey, it's a business model, and I gather it's working. Otherwise, they wouldn't be receiving millions of dollars to do it. But it's not real.
Yeah.
So if I really want an opinion, I enjoy, like we talk about that SEC podcast, which I know some Missouri fans have really got it, and it's entertaining. It's entertaining.
But that's fan oriented.
That's fan oriented,
yes.
Right? So I like one that's kind of fan, but like as a golf guy, I rarely talk about it on this show, but No Laying Up podcast, they'll be critical, but they also have a good deal of information and stats to back up perspective. So that's kind of what is more my thing. Like I like Gabe DeArmond's post-game show. He's got the fans calling him, but he's also breaking down a variety of numbers as a Missouri fan.
Yeah, to me it sounds like you like more traditional facing, but doesn't take itself too seriously.
Yeah, I guess that would be fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's rarely are you going to get an either or.
Sure.
But the if there's something that I would say I just am not into, but I'm not like going snuff this out. It doesn't matter. It doesn't affect my life. It exists. I just don't listen to it. But if somebody presents it to me as, oh, do you hear what so-and-so said about Missouri or the Cardinals or Blues? I'm like, oh, okay, well, this person's like a performer. Right. What I guess confuses me is how a healthy percentage of audiences take it seriously. It's like, oh, no, you didn't know that The Undertaker is not really an undertaker.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like this guy's just saying stuff because he was told by his boss to say stuff as hyperbolic as possible to get attention. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then we'll have advertising dollars.
Yeah, I get the business plan behind it. I don't necessarily consume that kind of content either.
Right. And then people do, God bless. I don't. But if you give me the binary choice, give me somebody who's being honest. Yeah. That's where I'm going to come.
Even if it is more fan-oriented.
Sure.
Yeah, I agree.
But then you can recognize it as such.
Right. And I think when you go into it with that mindset, like this is more of a fan-oriented thing, you take it less seriously.
I'll take that. I'll enjoy that way more than like, okay, this guy's going to take this opinion and this guy's going to take this opinion. They're going to start screaming at each other.
Yeah, there's some unintentional comedy in that, though.
I guess if you think it's real...
What? No, I think going into it knowing that it's kind of
like I liked when the Nature Boy Ric Flair would be all hopped up and he'd start fighting a ghost in the ring, and it was wonderful. I enjoyed it, but I'm not like, ooh, something's wrong with the Nature Boy.
Right.
I hope somebody comes in and intervenes.
Like you never felt like the Nature Boy was really in trouble.
Right.
Yeah.
You can give your answers to Jackson's wonderful first question on this Wide Berth Wednesday, 314-399-9646, or you can participate in the YouTube chat where there's a truce going on between Jackson and Dan Jansen. Special day.
I'm always coming in here with an open heart.
Look at you. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Balloon Party, 101 ESPN. Balloon Party 101 ESPN. Tim McKernan, Jackson Burkett with you on the program. Jackson, having a big show. By the way, I messed this up. Dan Jansen announced the truce is over.
Okay.
So that's over for you.
It was nice when it lasted. Smile because it happened. Don't cry because it's over, but flip that.
That was sick.
Thank you.
Jen Foam. She's in there.
What's up, Jen?
It's a real life lady in the YouTube chat.
What's she saying?
Hey, ...
That's a little more, please.
That was creepy.
Oh, well, first of all, it looks like a guy, right?
No, I think she called into TMA, right?
I feel like I would remember.
Pretty sure.
Maybe. Yeah, that sounds right. Is it caller Jen? Maybe caller Jen.
Didn't last long. Sick burn. That's some MD 2020. You broke it, Jackson. Dan Jansen.
I did?
Yep. You broke the truth.
I just don't like to be patronized or manhandled.
Jackson, do you have another question on this Wide Berth Wednesday? Can you possibly follow up after that first one?
No,
was so good.
No, it's not nearly as good. But it's...
Mason Wynn hit a home run last night. The Cardinal come back.
Okay, delete button. Let's go Cardinals, though.
Oh.
All right, let's go Illinois.
Okay, well, I mean, there's no way you're like asking about the Cardinals-Rockies game, so I'm going to go ahead.
Not.
What do we got?
I'm talking about the big picture.
Okay.
All right, so if the Cardinals are to make a move at the top in whatever capacity that you think is realistic, do you have an actual expectation that messaging will change along with that? If so, do you think strategy and game plan will change and the youth movement will be embraced by the front office?
That's a good question. Don't back away. Be confident.
I've really lost the view of the field here. Everyone's wearing
the Dan Jansen situation?
Because everyone's wearing the same helmets. I can't see.
Right. Yeah, so many interceptions in that Oklahoma-Alabama game. All right. Do I expect a change at the top? Was that there was a couple questions in there.
Let's operate that there is a change at the top in whatever capacity you think is realistic. Do you also have an expectation that messaging will change, tangibly change?
I think to address what you're operating on and I recognize you're not saying there will be, but for the purpose of the conversation,
Sure.
I think within the next 6 days there will be news of changes inside the organization. I don't really think that's all that bold either. I think it'd be like a minus 600 bet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I also think it's probably not going to satisfy people because I think it'll be more like Bloom is...
Yeah, it'll be more moving around.
Transitioning to have more of a, and I just don't know if they're going to part ways with Ali Marmol, you know?
So you don't think the people are going to get their pound of flesh, essentially?
I think that's what people want.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
So I think that is...
So even if they change messaging...
Well, then it gets into the messaging.
Right.
And the truth is, I don't know what Bloom's messaging style is.
Yeah.
He's held accountable for a debacle in Boston.
Yeah.
Which
might have been a directive for all we know.
May have not. I don't know. But, Mookie Betts specifically.
Yeah,
But I guess it would have to be Bill DeWitt III of the current group of people who would be in charge of messaging to deliver that message to the public. I mean, it'd be great if it were Bill DeWitt, the chairman, Bill DeWitt Jr. I just don't know if that's where he is at this point. And by that, I mean, I just don't know if that's going to be his style, if that's where he is actively at this moment.
Right.
He hasn't really been out front most of the 2024 season.
Right.
But yes, I actually hope for messaging in addition to change. I think it's so important, and that there is an announced plan. I would love it if that plan does include, it's going to be a youth movement, and it may take some time to rebuild, but that there's some kind of plan in the play. Because the team is, I suppose, who's the biggest surprise in baseball this year, as far as what you would have thought their wins would be and what they've actually gotten to so far?
Probably Detroit.
Yeah, Detroit is a nice play.
Probably Detroit, maybe even San Diego, just given their place in where they play in the division. But I'd give it to Detroit over them.
I would go Kansas City.
Yeah, I think you Detroit or KC. I think either way.
But Detroit is just out of absolutely nowhere. I mean, and currently, Detroit is right there for a playoff spot. They have a 2-game lead on the Twins. So I mean, you really could see the Detroit Tigers in this playoff season. 2.5 game lead on the Mariners, and the Red Sox are on the verge of elimination. The Royals have 83 wins and will most likely be in the playoffs again. It's not a done deal. Padres, as far as wins go, they clinched a playoff spot last night with a triple play, by the way.
Yeah, that was awesome.
And they're at 91 wins. So that's material difference.
Yeah, getting 90-plus wins in the NL West.
But, I mean, if you do remember the reason why Marmol, well, the theory, and I do believe in it, he got the contract extension was because the Cardinals start off the season with the Dodgers and the Padres. So the Padres were, I think if the Cardinals were starting off the season with the Tigers and the Royals, people wouldn't, you see what I'm saying?
Injury riddle. Given the injury situation for San Diego, could change some things up.
So my premise on this is that the Royals built a team with a lot of young players. I think about half their roster. Granted, they sucked last year. I mean, they were dreadful last year. But then because they had a lot of young players that were cost control, that allowed them to supplement with, I mean, he's not going to win the Cy Young, but he's going to be in the top 3 or 4. Seth Lugo, kind of a rando, but he's been damn good. What a Padre and a Met. Michael Wacha, we know well here. And they're in a spot where, I think they have overperformed, especially versus where they were. My point on all of that, and talking Kansas City Royals and San Diego Padres, is if you can build a core that is cost controlled, especially in a market the size of St. Louis and with a television situation like that, that allows you to then build. That allows you to then build by supplementing with free agents and trades. And I just don't think the Cardinals are close. So mainly because I don't know where the young pitching is not going to be majorly ready. So that's the core issue. But I just don't know if the organization's at a point where they would be comfortable doing that. And that's why that's why I'll be very curious. I expect that press conference in the next 5 days. I'll be very curious to hear what they have to say. All right, time for us to shut it down. BK and Ferrario are up next. For Jackson Bennett Burkett, I'm Timothy Michael McKernan. This has been Balloon Party on 101 ESPN. James Carlton, Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency, my insurance agent. I'd like for him to become yours as well. Go online at carltoninsurance.net. And James joins us right now. Morning, James.
Good morning, Tim. I hope you don't take offense to this, but I can't believe you actually went to the Mizzou game and then the next day rewatched that same game, because I've been guilty of doing that myself. So the two biggest dorks in the room right here.
Yeah, and that's saying something, Jackson, because you're in here.
I'll have to unpack that later.
I think it was pretty direct. James, I did rewatch it because I wanted to come in to TMA and Balloon Party with the perspective that most of the listeners would have through the broadcast. And I actually came away, I don't want to say more encouraged, but less discouraged. That's the way I would describe it.
Yeah, you're a big line of scrimmage guy, as am I.
I am a big line of scrimmage guy. I am.
Yeah, and I think they held their own.
Biggest dork in the room now, actually. Not
Timmy Trenches.
Timmy Trenches. Well, I mean, I played offensive line.
That's right.
Yep.
Likewise. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot to work on. I'm still optimistic that things that you can't fix are, size and strength on the O-line and D-line. I think they're in pretty good shape there. Things you can fix are rhythm and sync on offense, and hopefully they do over these next 14 days. But it's a beautiful day here in Webster Groves. Just want to share with your audience real quick. Just yesterday, a gentleman walked into our office from 101 ESPN to quote his stuff, and I'm not joking. We saved him $1,000 a year on his car insurance. Now, I can't promise that for everybody, but there are meaningful savings out there. It's very easy to find out how and how much. 314-961-4800 or carltoninsurance.net.